Welcome to the What's Up Verdict podcast. We fashion ourselves cinematic judge and jury. My name is JJ Crowder. I'm here with my co-host, Alec Burgess.
Let's get it.
We appreciate you tuning in. Go ahead, hit that follow, subscribe, like, bell notification buttons. Tell a friend about us. Tell a family member about us. Tell some weirdos that work in a half building about us, I guess. I hate you for this month. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, we're back. We're week 3 of How the Fuck Did This Get Made movies. I think I've added the fuck, but I've reached that point.
Yeah, week 3, it's well deserved at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a go. So we appreciate our patrons who you can join and be involved in some of these shenanigans. We've rearranged. There's a lot more options, a lot more ways to torture us, a lot more free content. So go check it out. There's also continues to be a monster amount of content that's behind a little bit of a paywall that's actually less than it used to be. Just trying to make things more accessible for you guys, and really appreciate you joining, hanging out, tuning in. So with that, we can jump into this mess. So on week 3, we are going to John Malkovich. It was released December 3rd, 1999. It was written by Charlie Kaufman and is directed by Spike Jonze. It stars John Cusack, Cameron Diaz, Catherine Keener, Ned Bellamy, Eric Weinstein, Madison Lank, Octavia Spencer, Mary Kay Place, and Orson Bean. And John Malkovich, of course. And it's about a puppeteer who discovers a portal that leads literally into the head of movie star John Malkovich. All right, Alec. How the fuck did you pick this movie?
Because of the month, JJ.
Ah, yes, fair.
This is the quintessential. How in the world did this get made? But unlike the first 2 that we did this month,
yeah,
I think this one actually could be fixed relatively simply.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I don't know if this was like Spike Jonze's first movie that he ever directed, or Charlie Kaufman's ever first writing. But it seems like they had this idea and concept that they were married to, and they couldn't make it work. And then a couple decades later, Jordan Peele made it work with Get Out. It's a very similar kind of concept.
Yeah.
But I think that Kaufman and Jones were so in love with this idea of a puppeteer and the controlling being from the puppeteer. And that's where all the shit was. But there's no payoff for it. And so they have all these kind of plot point storylines that they want to roll in that it feels like they almost believe are essential for the film to work. And then there's no payoff for them. There's no point. There's no purpose. There's no reason. Because by the time we get to the almost like the big aha gotcha, the puppeteering is moot at that point. It's already been proven that it's almost like they disconnected what they were trying to do with it as the story evolved. But we'll just be honest. The worst part of this movie is the freaking puppeteering bit.
Yeah,
it is, and it's the largest part of this movie, and it's why this movie that is, I think, is sub 2 hours feels like 6. Is because of all this focus on the puppeteering. And then, for my point, at least in a way, by the time we get around to really the final moments, the puppeteering is a moot point. It doesn't matter. Yeah. It would be cool. Like, I could see where they're going with it. But they didn't have that big payoff or a reason of why it needed to happen that way. And so that's why I think, even though I kind of poo-pooed on it because I'm a scaredy cat, Get Out is a much better version of this kind of story.
Yeah.
Where you have it coming from. You have it's a much better storytelling. They focus on the story, and it felt like this was like, hey, no, this is the reason it works. So we're sticking with this specific storyline and plot point, but it doesn't make any sense. And so, just the puppeteering, dude, why? Yeah. And so it's that part of it where I'm like, how was this made just from this point? Were puppeteers more popular in 1999? Like, I feel like it was still dying off after its heyday in 1286. Like,
yeah. Yeah, no, I
So I don't see the allure of the concept, but I get where they were going. But there's no payoff for it, and so now it's just you have this really weird main character. And I think if you change this and being John Malkovich is told from John Malkovich's perspective, like that makes it even better. Because as funny as it is to watch Malkovich portray, or channel freaking Schwartz in John Cusack, it's just weird at that point. And I think you tell a better story if it's all from John Malkovich's perspective and you start like halfway through.
Yeah.
And work back a little bit and show what's happening.
That's fair. I could see that.
But it just felt like too much, way too much.
Yeah.
And not having any idea or really kind of flow through that connects the beginning to the end in any way that makes it meaningful, at least from my perspective.
Sure. No, it's something. I saw this movie in 1999. Because
you're a John Cusack fan
and a John Malkovich fan. I'm not a Cameron Diaz fan typically, especially back then. Like she was still pretty fresh off of getting launched at this point. But I love Cusack and I love Malkovich, and I even really like Catherine Keener in a lot of her, you know what I mean? And so there's some people in here that I'm like, oh yeah, I really like this cast. I'm gonna go see this movie. And at the time, to answer your question, yes, it was Spike Jonze's first movie. He was a big music video guy for most of his early career. That's how I knew him, was introduced to him, was like, you can always tell because it was like, it's a Spike Lee joint or whatever, Spike Jonze video, because they would pop up. He'd always, that vain son of a bitch would always put his name all over it. But like, yeah, this was his first movie, and fuck, you can tell. And I want it to be good because there's some decent performances in it. Like, as weird as they are, the trio of body invaders, if you will, they're not bad. They have some good performances. I just think this movie gets away from Spike Jonze. You know what I mean? Like it just, and to your point, like there's the focus of certain things. You're like, what the fuck are you? Why? Like, I don't understand the obsession. Even this has one of the weirdest fucking first 5 minutes sequence.
Oh yeah, no,
of 100%. A movie, period. Like, and maybe even the first 10 minutes. Like, it's fucking weird. And then it doesn't ever get less weird and disjointed. Yeah, it just, and I remember, this is another movie. I was 18 years old, and I walked out the first time. Like, I was like, this is a waste of my, at the time, probably $7. And I just am like, I can't do it. So I probably an hour in, I was like, I'm out. And I may not even have made it an hour.
The best part.
Yeah. I probably didn't even make it an hour, if I'm being honest. I just was like, I got to go. And then I ended up watching it again years later, because it made somewhat of a resurgence. I think I was in my mid-20s and people were talking about it again. And I'm like, oh God. Because he also went on, Spike Jonze, to do like Adaptation, which won a bunch of awards. And from a certain perspective is a good movie. Whereas this one, I will fucking die on this hill that this movie sucks. And it's just it's fucking terrible and weird. It makes no sense to me. Like, and I don't even to this day, like, even when you're talking about, here's a way we could make it better, and I don't disagree with that way. Like, I'm like, but why? Like,
yeah,
I don't get this movie. I never have. I don't understand the point. Even looking at it from the perspective of, well, it was, Get Out before Get Out was a thing, right? It's too goofy for me to take serious with the really terrible, like, and terrible from like that would be a horrifying prospect, to have somebody be able to just hop in my body and take over. not fun. And so it's like, but even from that perspective, like it just doesn't make sense to me. And I've never been like, oh, I want to venture down that fucking rabbit hole and see, that would be interesting to be John Malkovich. But at the same time, are you really John Malkovich at that point? Because you're just you as you saw in this movie in his body. Like that's it. So it's just, I don't know. Fucking weird.
And that's why I think like it's so close. It just misses. Because the concept of, you know, only being able to control John Malkovich because he's a puppeteer,
Yeah,
that's cool. Like that makes sense.
Sure.
And that's where you could have the connection to the point, like, you know, people could go in and just be a viewer, but in order to control, it's because his ties with puppeteering. But then you find out later that, you know, the bad guy Lester, or whatever you could call him,
yeah,
just is gonna cram 47 different personalities into John Malkovich, and it's completely fine.
yeah.
And so that's where I was going, what? Because the concept makes sense from that kind of perspective. And you even get a tiny little bit of payoff from the opening sequence with his first time in John Malkovich. He performs the same dance or the same puppeteering skit, whatever it is. And so that's kind of the cool part in my mind, and makes it kind of stand out is, you know, because of the special skill that is really useless in every aspect of life, he's actually able to go in and have a use for this skill that he's developed, and it's in controlling John Malkovich. And then it's ruined by the fact where Lester's like, no, I've just been making this new body for myself for for hundreds of years, and this is everything that plays off to it. But I also get the point, because you have to have somewhere for the story to go.
Yeah.
So that's where it's like it's almost like a problem was tackled as it came up.
Yeah.
And it was that's the only thing that was fixed or looked at or just is like, you know, everything up to this point is good. Now we have a new problem. How do we fix this? Cool. Okay, now we have a new problem. How do we fix this? And never went back to try and connect it all together.
Yeah.
So then you get this weird kind of just absolutely tangled mess of garbage.
Yeah.
And so it's like, oh, you are almost there. Almost there with it. And I think you could have actually, if you make it watchable, I think you got something.
Yeah.
The problem is it's not watchable. And then you have too much noise, right? Like, I don't understand the purpose of the chimp and the bird and the dog.
Yeah.
There's no reason for this.
Yeah.
It adds nothing to the story that she works with animals. She's a vet tech or pet store, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And so there's no added bonus to that. It's just noise. And it's noise that you don't need, because you already have your compelling piece of the plot or your compelling piece of the story. Just work on that, develop that, make that make sense. But no, just left field, right field.
Yeah.
Let's throw this in. This will be fun.
Yeah.
And so it's just by the finish point, it's so unwatchable that you're checking how much longer is in this, like every 30 seconds, hoping that the number changed.
Boy. Don't I know it?
Because every 30 seconds feels like 10 minutes.
Yeah. Well, and for me, it's just compounded, because I just find myself going, why? Like,
yeah.
What was the point? And again, I don't necessarily need, like, there's a lot of movies where I'm like, okay, that had no point, but it made sense as to it having no point. And this one's so disjointed, because it's like there's so many different through lines. Like, Lester wants to live forever and's figured it out and has been, made a fucking company out of it. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, okay, there's one. And then you got the one that bothers me the most is the obsession with John Malkovich. And like, that's a reason to be in his body. And then there's like the whole mounting love story between these two women that I'm just like, wait, what? And it comes to the weirdest fucking conclusion of, oh, well, you were in Malkovich when we freaking conceived this baby, so therefore it's your baby. And that, when I finally got through the whole movie and saw that scene, I went, what? What? And I just, that's not, okay, this is, and then you're like, let me think about this for a minute, because now Malkovich is, or not Malkovich, but Cusack's character is stuck in the baby because he's trying. I was like, oh my god, like, what'd you do? Just have like a whole list of like story beats, and you just threw darts, and we're like, well, we'll add this one in. Like, I swear that's how we ended up with animal control or animal bullshit. Like, it was like, oh, what can we make to be? Oh, a vet technician.
What's popular right now?
Yeah.
Chimps. Well, the other part that I hate about that ending is we understand like what's happening, right? We get told by Lester.
Yeah.
But the problem is it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Because it's the next baby is like what Lester explains it as. So Schwartz was sitting there like timing this like to the second to make sure it doesn't end up in some random, and it's just so confusing in that way, and it doesn't make sense for that purpose where he's now just an observer through the baby or the kid's eyes.
Yeah,
it's like, again, why? Like, there's no big reason for it at all.
Well, and then you have to ask the question, okay, so as a puppeteer, at what point is he able to take over and he freaking murders these two? You know what I mean? Like, there's got a couple point where he turns this child into a fucking homicidal maniac. That's the only thing I can think of. You know what I mean? And because he can control it, fuck. Now he's got this, like, however long before things can start jumping, you know, other people start jumping in there with. Now he's got this whole fucking thing that he's got to. I'm just like, oh my god, this movie is so weird. It just doesn't make any sense, and there's just so many things that I'm like, no, I don't. That doesn't work for me. Like, and again, I leave the movie. I remember, I don't remember how old I was, but I remember sitting there watching it because somebody's like, no, you left, you missed out. You got to watch it. It's one of the best movies of our time, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, whatever. So I sit down and watch it with them. And I was like, at the end of it, I was like, see, no. And then they're trying to explain it to me. I'm like, no, you can tell me. That's like when I get excited about a fucking shitty 80s movie that everybody knows is bad, but because I was a kid and it was funny at that time when I was 10, it's a great movie. This is that. And it's not great. Like, be self-aware. You love a shitty movie, and that's okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
I love a lot of shitty movies.
Yeah.
But don't fucking shove it down my throat and then be mad when I go, no, your movie sucks.
Yeah. The other thing that gets me is why John Malkovich?
For real.
Like, okay, 1999, John Malkovich, big name, but he's never like, and I don't think he's ever been that guy, right? Like the hot have to have everything, you know, has to be in every single movie. He's the number one actor in Hollywood. Like he's great. I love his stuff, but he's never been that kind of top build A-lister, gotta have him in the movie type of actor. So it's like why him? And maybe it's because he was the only one who signed up for it because he's a little bit weird himself.
Could be.
But I'm thinking like 1999, right? Like we get a little bit of it. You Sean Penn. We got like a cameo of him.
Yeah, something.
Charlie Sheen would be great at this.
Yeah.
Like everybody that they surrounded like around John Malkovich makes more sense than John Malkovich.
Mm-hmm.
Even just John Cusack. Cusack is being John Cusack. And have him play both parts. That would be hilarious. Schwartz and Cusack.
That would be funny.
But that's the other thing is like, why John Malkovich? And it points to what you were saying, like why the obsession as well with being John Malkovich.
Yeah. And I
like it's like being Alec, right? Like
yeah.
Doesn't make any sense.
And I guess kind of like, so I went back and I looked at his filmography, and I know a lot of movies that he's done, but when you start getting into 96 is when he started doing probably the ones that people are like, oh shit. I mean, outside of like early, like Killing Fields, Death of a Salesman, stuff like that, like that got him, like his big stuff in. So Mulholland Falls in '96, then Portrait of a Lady, Con Air, Man in the Iron Mask, Rounders, then some weird French film, and then being John Malkovich. So I mean, he was hitting it off, but at the same time, again, even in all those movies, like he was a bad guy or like a musketeer. It's like,
Yeah, and he's like that supporting character that makes every movie better
yeah,
that he's in, but it's like, I
but
mean,
he was never top billing.
yeah. In the Man in the Iron Mask, you have Leo DiCaprio.
Yeah,
You've got freaking Jeremy Irons,
Yeah.
and then you've got in Con Air Nicolas Cage, and the whole laundry list of that movie's cast.
yeah,
And so it's like he's great, and he adds value to every movie that he's in. He makes it better. Great actor, great performer. But then I don't think anybody was ever like, you know what? I really am inspired to be an actor because of John Malkovich.
yeah. And I certainly don't want to live in his head.
Yeah, like nobody gets up on their award ceremony and says, this, thanks to my mom, thanks to God, thanks to John Malkovich.
Yeah.
For helping my dream come true.
It's wild. It's wild. It's probably more like, what kind of low hanging fruit can we snag up and name this movie after being whoever? I don't know. I'd be curious. I'll have to do some. Am I really going to do some research though? In my head, I'm like, it would make sense to do some research and figure out why this movie got made. But
that would be as pointless as making a movie, I think.
Yeah, I'm probably not going to do that. But I just don't. And I don't understand. Like to this day, this movie, people love it. Like it's got like a high rating. It's like 7, almost 8 stars, I think, on IMDb. I think Rotten Tomatoes, it's pretty high, if I remember right. And I'm just like, I don't get it. Because I constantly, every time it comes up, I'm like, don't talk to me about being John Malkovich. Like, how did that movie even get made? So it fits this category perfectly for me. Because it just doesn't. It's so stupid. It is so stupid. So well done. Good pick.
You're welcome.
I'm trying to see what Rotten Tomato scores it has right now.
Probably 120.
Oh my God. 94% from critics and 87% from viewers.
You're wrong.
Yeah, no shit. Like, I don't get that.
This movie should never have been made.
Yeah. That's so weird to me. So weird.
That's crazy. I'm shook.
Well, yeah. I guess, should we rate it?
Let's rate it.
Your movie.
My movie. I get to go first.
That's right.
Oh boy. I do think this movie could have been a lot better with a couple tweaks. And it's just telling a coherent story that makes sense. I think that, especially since now that apparently this was Spike's first film that he did, now it makes a lot more sense to where you have this idea and you want to stick to your idea and you want your idea to fit into the story.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the best directors out there and writers just tell a story and they fit the plot points in that they like or they want to that go with the story. And I feel like you kind of grow into that as you do it more, but having this idea that it's a rigid story that I came up with in my head and I'm just going to take that and put it on the screen doesn't work. And it is disjointed, creepy as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't have any kind of coherent start to finish, and they just leave stuff out in the open as they kind of get to a new scene, a new act, and they forget about everything that happened before. They erase all that from memory, and now it's this new 10-minute blip that we're going to work through. I'm going to give it a 0.5. Like, a 0.5. I don't never going to watch this again, ever. It is not a good movie. Never should have been made. I think it could have been really good, but I think they forgot to tell the story, and we're just like, oh, this is the idea that I have, and I'm going to take it straight from my brain and put it into the silver screen, and it didn't work. But
yeah. 0.5. Yeah, listen, we're gonna get poo-pooed on this episode. I can feel it. Like,
good, bring it on.
We love John Malkovich. Being John Malkovich, go the fuck away. Don't at me. Go away. And I fully admit, like, if you got this far and you're listening, I fully admit it's because I don't get this movie. I love the cast. I'm gonna give it a higher score than I should because of the performances by some of the cast. Because while this movie sucked, there were still some good performances from the actors that are in it, but I don't get it, and I never will get it. So don't fucking try to explain it to me either. Don't put some fucking 8-paragraph goddamn explanation of being John Malkovich in our comments, or do. I don't care. I'm not going to read it, but I read most comments, by the way. But if I see it's 12 paragraphs on this movie, I'm not going to fucking read it because you're just being a dick, and I don't want you to try to explain it. Don't fucking fansplain me. Goddamn being John Malkovich, okay? Because I will never be listed as a fan of this movie. I think it's fucking messy. I think it makes no sense. I think it was somebody was like, how funny would it be if we made a movie about people that can become an actor or become someone famous and then from there, instead of like being very deliberate about the interesting things that you could do as a person that's famous, they decide to make John Malkovich a fucking puppeteer. I get it's the only way he can become a famous puppeteer, right? But go away. Like, don't hit me up with that shit. It was just stupid. There was no point. I didn't find it funny. That's the other thing I hear a lot when people, oh, it's a hilarious dark comedy. It's hilariously dark.
I don't
but
think
it's not
laughed once.
A comedy. I find nothing about this movie funny. In fact, the things that should be funny to me, because I do have a weird sense of humor in most cases, but like in a lot of movies, like I would laugh at the 7.5 floor that you have to fucking hit the stop button at the right time and then pry the fucking doors open and nobody asks why there's giant dents in the goddamn elevator door. But I didn't find it at all funny because there was nothing to tie me to the humor. The movie feels way too serious to be that funny. But anyway, yeah, I'm gonna give it a 1 because I will say this: that of all the bullshit, John Malkovich in this movie he fucking tries real hard to make this movie something. And when he's in it as himself, like losing his shit, and then the one scene that almost makes me laugh, like it kind of makes me smile, is the weird restaurant scene with John Malkovich as everybody. Okay. Malkovich. Yeah, and the part that almost got me the first time that I watched to that point, and then each time subsequently, was Malkovich in the fucking evening dress on the piano. That shit, just the visual of it with the piano player Malkovich, like makes me almost laugh. But if that's your highlight of your movie, you fucked it up. Like and that's all I got. Like I got nothing else that I go, okay, I like this part. Like there's no other part of this movie that I go, oh, okay, that's the part I remember every time. Somebody says being John Malkovich, and all I see is fucking cocktail dress Malkovich on a goddamn piano. And if that's my explanation of your movie, then you did it wrong. So there you go. Yeah, I had gone for decades without watching this fucking movie, and hopefully I go back to that and never watch it again for the rest of my life. So yeah, there it is. When we're not watching Malkovich, where else can people find us, Alec?
Oh, this has been a great month for you, JJ.
Fuck, dude, I am
swear.
So glad.
I think you rated this as high as you did because we had Swiss Army Man last
That's week. Probably not wrong either. Everything's
great start
better watch after that.
But as where people can find us, YouTube's the best place to see our reactions, see our faces. We talk back and forth and, make JJ question 6 years on a podcast in just 3 weeks. Aside from that, Patreon's the best place to get involved with the content. We do have, it's getting 650, almost 700 bonus content episodes, everything from shorts to behind the scenes to full-length episodes, on our Patreon. It is behind a little bit of paywall, but to get involved with the content creation of What's Our Verdict, it is completely free to vote on topics and to vote on movies. We've added some real stakes to our votes because they have mattered for as long as we've had the votes, but now there's real stakes attached. So voting on our content helps us, a certain dominance over the other one, we'll say, because right now I won January, which means JJ's list of movies is up for purchase if you want to make him watch some stuff that he is going to hate. Every time one of us wins, the other list gets put up. JJ's made my list. I haven't even seen it yet, so I know it's bad. But the idea behind it is that if you lose, your list of movies gets up, people can buy and go ahead and make us watch a movie that we are going to hate. So winning is important. With that, I'll kick it back to, I should thank CB and Rich, who are our patrons. And they're the ones who put us up to this topic. Thank you. It's been a great month for me. But with that, I'll kick it back to the, let's see, Jack Dunn's Baby, The Great Bambino, a JJ.
That's right. Thanks, buddy. Yeah, but not thanks for that list that's now sitting on Patreon waiting to be purchased, because I was putting it going, why did I agree to this again? Like, fuck.
Yes.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to the day that I win the vote again and
never gonna happen.
Alex list goes up. I did find it very ironic that we fucking started this little trend and all of a sudden I lose. I'm like, I haven't lost in fucking months. Now all of a sudden I'm losing. I don't like it. So yeah, get out and vote for movies that you look at and go, that's got to be a JJ movie. Then we'll be okay. We'll get the world righted again and make Alex list be up on there. And there is a tier 2 level.
Oh,
if we lose for a certain amount of time, and I'm not going to disclose that because I know our patrons and they want to see that extra list, and I will lose 2 more times just for fucking the sake of losing. So I will not say, but there is a special list that after a certain amount of losses in a row for months, that list will be added to the pay, and there's a higher price point because they are the not just the tip fucking fuck jobs. So torturous movies to watch for us, and I've got some doozies on that list, and I've got some doozies for Alex. So if you want to see that shit, go vote, see how this plays out. But outside of that, as always, we appreciate you tuning in. We'll catch you on the next one.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Cinemagic out.
Whoa!